We back with full auto mod A. After a full year, we finally have mod A. And of course, it's on the week of new game releases. So I'm going to keep this short. I have two teams for you guys, my budget team and my invested team. My budget team will consist of farmable units and the units available to new players through the selectors. So let's go ahead and check them out. Starting off, we want to make sure that our 2x is off. Now I have this in a specific order because we want Sobin to come out late. Reason being is because if there's 3 or less enemies on the field, the boss puts the mines in the back like here. Sobin skillfully dodges those. Now these mines, they reduce our hit, and we really don't want our Sobin taking that kind of debuff. But we really don't care about Sigma getting that because Sigma doesn't do any damage in the entire run. Woohoo! Now, Hilde's with her reactor is great here because it puts shields on your team so they can walk through mines and they can take later mines in run here. So we have Sky coming out late so that we can line up the ulti with the S1 on Enterprise and we can get ourselves a nice healthy amount of surefire right here during our burst phase. Now Hilde is just doing Hilde things, of course, being flashy as hell, but you know, we like the Hilde. Now we're going to take this laser directly to the face, but because we have a wonderful Sigma, we have DP to redeploy most of our team. Now since we have Sobin as well, we're definitely going to be making any hit checks that sit there and show up like this one, so we get a nice stun on the boss, which gives us plenty of time to sit here and take out the last little bit of HP. Now for not having really great gear, at 10.7k score is actually pretty good, and Sobin taking the first place here. Alright, so for this team, I'm running Hilde on the antagonist free-to-play set. We're giving her as much skill haste as possible because we really just don't use the skill haste set on anybody else in this team, so might as well throw it on her. Sigma, I have on a super jank CDR set. Yes, those are +7 pieces, but I assure you, they're not really helping that crazy much. The main point is I'm giving her 30% skill haste. You want as much as you can on her just to sit there and spam daddy as much as possible to get your DP back. Kim Sobin, we're running on basically anti-defender, anti-ground. You kind of want to put her on your best gear because she has an innate anti-mech built in, so she does great here. Now even if you have a broken set, you want to run her EE. The main stat is A speed, and then the secondary stat is crit damage. Even if it's on like HP, and then you just sit there and throw in a couple of other, you know, an attack set or something in here, that works. For Sky, I barely have on anything. I'm not running any skill haste on her so that the S1 from Enterprise and her ulti line up. If you add skill haste modifiers to this, you need to give her more skill haste. Now, Rifleman, I have a Relic of the Past sitting on him here, but we're putting anti-defender, anti-ground as much as possible onto him. Chifu, I have her EE and some really bad pieces, honestly. She's not even geared for this. She's geared for anti-ranger. But we want her to have on anti-ground. She doesn't really need to sit there and be on a tank set for this fight. Tarask, I have absolutely nothing on, but you can put HP. It is a ranger, so anti-defender actually helps here. And then Soyun, same thing. She is a ranger. You can put actual DPS gear on her, anti-defender, anti-ground, and she will work great. Now for the ship, I'm running Enterprise because we wanted to give ourselves some surefire during the fight, and then Kim Hana is the operator because we're running 10,000 Rangers and 1 support. For the mods, For this run, I'm just going with 60% here. I'm not touching any of the attack. I can take minus 50% HP because our team is pretty healthy, minus 25% attack speed, minus 40% skill haste so we can line things up right. We don't touch the boss's HP. We do increase the boss's attack, and we reduce our deployment resource gain by 30%. Alright, so we're just going to copy my homework from Mob B here. If you recognize this team or think you've seen it before, you actually have. We're just rearranging some of the units here so that we can make sure our units stay alive. Now, with minus 90% evasion, this boss is a pain in the butt without some kind of support to keep your Lin Jian alive. So, we're going to be running Yang a little bit early and having Rebecca come out just a tad bit late here. Now we get our ulti just in time to keep our Vivian proc going with the Wardens. Sky is going to be coming out, and with a pretty good, nice lineup for her ulti here. Now Chifu doing Chifu things. If Chifu ultis before special, honestly I'd restart. You can go ahead and try and let it go through, but preferably I always prefer to have the special then ulti happen. Now, as you can see, both Sky and Rebecca ulted at the same time. I did have some runs where Sky ulted before Rebecca, which is pretty nice. But we get enough burst damage here that we just take the boss out. Now, of course, we have our wonderful anti-mech specialist Rebecca doing just a ton of damage here, and then everybody else. So for the invested team, we're going to be running full CDR on Chifu, 76% with as much ground damage as we can fit. Lin Jian, we don't really need to worry about having so much skill haste on her, and anti-ground we do just want 67%, but she's pretty healthy even with 72 to get her ulti off in time, seeing as we're running Yang early. Now we want her on as much skill haste as we can because we want her spamming her shields for Lin Jian. Rebecca, we're going to be running on full A speed anti-defender. Now granted, she'll be fine on attack, she'll be fine on attack anti-defender, or even double anti-defender. Just anything that's anti-defender and has damage on it. Sky, I'm running on as much skill haste as possible. The goal is to try and get that ulti off either with Rebecca or right before Rebecca during the burst phase. Now, Wardens aren't going to do a whole hell of a lot of damage, but we're going to go ahead and give them as much anti-defender as we can. Now, you can run A-speed anti-defender as well for them. So Ayun, I took off A-speed, but you can run A-speed anti-defender or attack or attack anti-defender. I just kind of went with skill haste, range damages because I was trying to get her off of A-speed. She was using her special way too quickly for this run. And then Dorothy I have on A-speed. We want her spamming her passive if she can possibly proc it a second time. If you don't have this type of gear, then just put her on anything anti-defender and that'll work as well. For the ship, I'm running New Detroit with counter crit damage, counter range damage, and then some sniper damage since we got snipers on the team. Now, anti-striker's probably gonna, anti-striker damage is what you want for Rebecca. She's your main carry. That's pretty much best you can get for that ship. But then we have Vivian for our operator. A-speed or crit damage both work well here. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you get the minimum score this season. Now I'm off to play some Withering Waves, but remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link will be in the description, and if you want to help support this channel, you can find a link in the description for that as well. As always, I will see you all next time.